Hello, Leo. It's umomgtarot, and this is your someone secretly wishes you knew this tarot card reading. So Leo, we're gonna take a gander at the Angel Tarot and figure this out. What do they wish you knew? And then we're gonna have a look at the astrology reading cards for a more a closer look at who this person is. So if you'd like your own personal reading, please check out the description. There's a link to my website. And here we go. Alright, what does this person secretly wish you knew, Leo? Where do we start? Let's get a jump off point going. What should Leo know? Okay, so there is tests. 5 of Wands, we have tests here, but this, it also speaks to competition. And just think about the interviewing process where there's multiple candidates involved in the situation. So it's multiple people competing with each other, some people with integrity, some without, but there's a mix and mingling and a gathering of people tussling to get to that top spot. So 5 is also an uncomfortable transitional number, so we know that it's a very restless place to be. So we start off with this energy of I'm feeling competitive. I am competing. I'm actively competing. But what are they competing for is what I want to know. There it is right there. I knew it. Naman. We have the 3 of Swords here, and this, good God, this feels like a last ditch effort type of competition. Stress and strain. Is trying to fight for your relationship. We have the 3 of Swords giving us heartache. This is usually wrapped up in a third-party situation. It feels like some of you are fighting for your relationship or fighting for your place in this person's life whose attention is being taken by someone else. So there's competition there in every respect. So again, and if this person is feeling like there's a third-party situation on your end, they do feel like they're competing for your attention. They're trying to win. So you know that this isn't a situation where they're so insulted that there's someone else. They're like, I want to get what's mine, or even if they're upset about it, they're still trying to dominate, conquer, and win. But this situation is rife with sadness and disappointment because of that third-party situation. 3 and 5, uncomfortable, odd numbers, restless numbers. We have the Wheel of Fortune, the tides turning. Okay, so if you find yourself in this situation, the tides will turn. Eventually, the Angel of Destiny will spell out what will happen next. But when we're thinking about the Wheel of Fortune, we're thinking about Jupiter as well. The expansiveness, the growth, the blessings of good fortune and wellness, and just basically forward movement. So I think that on this situation, which seems to be, again, a restless situation, with that uncomfortable 5 transition and 3 third-party situations, there's not room for the both of us. And you know how third wheeling goes. It's just not a place to relax. So we see the tides turning. The tides will turn eventually on that situation. So that's good. That is a good thing to know. That it's wrapping itself up. It's resolving itself. But, okay, well, what do you mean by that? What do you mean by the situation will resolve itself? 3 of Pentacles, we have a little, okay, so we have another 3. This 3 represents action, but it also represents collaboration. So I want you to know that there's another person that's going to resolve the situation. Like, it's going to roll its way into resolution. 3 of Pentacles speaks to collaboration with multiple people. So it'll be a little bit of what you want, a little bit of what the other person wants. And it almost feels like everybody can somehow get a little bit of what they want in conclusion with this situation. So it's interesting. There's a 3-way collaboration there. So there's ideas, there's brainstorming, there's something that is coming up that resolves a situation that you could not anticipate. There is action behind this, so it's almost like somebody else's action comes in the mix. It also feels like, just randomly somebody else, like let's say you are dating someone and then there's a third-party situation there and it's been give or take and push and pull for months, and then somebody else is interested in you and your attention turns towards that, so everybody gets what they want. Like it feels like one of those, and it doesn't necessarily have to be you that your attention has been swayed away, but just like things moving forward, synthesis happening, and things working themselves out without damages, just like things moved on. We have the Devil, The Devil in reverse. This is the Angel of Freedom. Nice to be broken free of those shackles. This Devil card is usually associated with temptation and codependence. Feeling, excuse me, whoo! Feeling bonded to someone or bound to someone. And like, it's almost like you're addicted to them. You can't, I wish I could quit you type vibes. This is also associated with Capricorn, so that does have some competitive energy to it as well. But I feel like this is more speaking to the addiction of a thrill, or the addiction to the drama or the cycle, and indulging and having the good times, because it's like becoming complacent and not wanting to work towards newer or better times or take a risk, just being kind of stuck in your old ways and gluttonous habits. So if this person feels comfortable with either party, they'll stay stuck to it. But I think that there's room for change and room for evolution and growth when it comes to the situation, when both parties' lives intertwine. So if it's one person and they're dating someone else, or dating multiple people, and you just happen to be one of them, I feel like how it just works out is, if they pick you, the other person that they're dating may meet someone else at the same time. So there's no like drama, there's no overlap. Well, there might be overlap station, but everybody walks away feeling okay. So that's always a good thing, because the initial shock of that third party situation would be devastating. But just because we see that Five of Wands, we know it's almost like, if you don't know, the other person knew. And if you knew, you know, it's going to be disappointing to that other person. It may pull away some of your attention. It may pull away some of your attention. But I feel like it's like a known type of thing where there's multiple people involved. So it may not be that serious with this person. So anyway, I feel like also with the Devil card being in reverse, it feels like the person that we were talking about originally, as opposed to the person that comes in and makes everything move along. It feels like there might be some like I'm addicted to you, or like I've had a crush on you for so long. I've had feelings for you for so long. I always held out. I always thought that we might, you know, jump over that hurdle and make that commitment. Or I feel like you're a safe place to go whenever another relationship doesn't work out, and vice versa. And we've always been that for each other. But it seems that like either of us, one of us, or both of us are getting into something serious where that may not be the case going forward. And so this person, there might be like haziness around the ending, the beginning, the ending, the beginning of the relationship. But I feel like that's why you feel bound to this person, or you feel bonded to them, because of the on and off nature, or the just in the back of your mind knowing that you have this person, and that might be slipping away. So this person obviously wouldn't want you to know all the inner workings, but like, let's see how this person feels about you, as far as like why they don't want you to know about their I guess their multi-interest, their interest in multi people. We're like, well, okay, how about this? Let's have a look at their connection towards you, and why and where it's going. Connection with you. Oh, you want to flip over? Then go ahead. Go ahead. See, they'll always be holding back, and they'll always try to assert some sort of control that they don't have any business having. And that control is by omission. It's by not telling you stuff or details about their life. And that's not necessarily desired, but it is about having control. Then we have the Seven of Swords. They'll never be able to offer you like the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. They'll always wear a false mask and pretend to be something that they're not, or something that they aren't normally in other circumstances. Like with you, they're different, and they're with other people, they're a different person. But who's the real them, you know? These two cards coming up in reverse is giving like maybe they're not as real as they could be towards you. Seven of Swords is showing that they may project a false mask into the relationship. And what could be mistaken as just, oh, I just feel nervous around you, so I'm presenting a false mask. This just feels like they're doing it on purpose. Maybe they can't be their real selves. Maybe they can be their real selves, but whatever side of themselves that they're showing, not really comfortable with. Not really comfortable with. Okay? Because they're holding back. They're being reserved. They'd be open and free, like a Sun card, if they were, you know, feeling good about who they were. With the Judgment card, I feel like you're going to seem like a lesson for them. I think that maybe the lesson is losing you. Maybe the lesson is the distance or separation from you, so they can appreciate you. The Judgment card is very karmic. The angel of the past. It does teach us those valuable slow brew, long-term lessons that it takes time to comprehend, or the time to appreciate or even understand them. So it's like a cycle of life that they need to take a step back from. You're being so reserved, holding back, not telling you as much as you need to know, never letting you know what is real, what is what. And I feel like there's a judgment for that, like where they'll be in a position that they can understand how you felt because they're being left in the dark. And I think that's the only first-hand experience that they can have where they'll have some sort of personal accountability towards you. We see the Wheel of Fortune, like I said, and the Judgment card. And these two cards are about like this long-term generational slow brew transformation of a person. I know the Wheel of Fortune can sometimes be a bit of a surprise, but it's one of the outer planets, so I really kind of divvy up the witnessing of the effects of these signs as like a long-term kind of thing, a slow brew, long-term lesson. It's not like grade 1, it's all of elementary school, that whole thing. And the Wheel of Fortune will teach you a lesson. The Judgment Zone will teach you what you should have learned from that lesson. Like, let me present some stuff for you and do what you want. And then when we get to the Judgment card, we have to do an evaluation of the events and really kind of see what we did wrong, see what type of energy we let into our lives, what kind of people, and really do an assessment and try to understand how energy works at the end of the day. And understand essentially what karma is. Like, here's what I put out into the universe, here's what I got back. Lesson learned. So that's pretty valuable to a lot of people. But I think that this person is learning that type of thing from their relationship with you. Karmic lessons, how to treat people, how to not treat people, seeing how things caught up with them over time. Maybe if they put you in a will they won't they situation for a long time and strung you along with a false mask, maybe they'll come into contact with somebody who will just not open up to them, or they'll never pass that threshold of personability with this person. So that might be something that haunts them. So good, that's what you get. All right, and let's have a look at the astrology reading cards. I'm going to use the planet cards just to figure out who we're dealing with. This person's nature, very Venus-y, very lover, not a fighter, but obviously a lover is going to get into some fights if they love too much and too many people at once. We have the Venus energy hovering over this reading, and so we know we're dealing with a Taurus or a Libra. This is the part of you that desires beauty, success, indulgence, and valuables. Taurus and Libra. Then we have Pluto, but we already knew that because the Judgment card is right there. And so, yeah, they're associated. With Pluto, your ability to transform, take a big leap forward, and rebirth. So again, this person is learning about themselves, and they're learning over the long lessons, the long lifetime lessons about themselves. And that's something that, nobody wants to be a casualty. Nobody wants to be somebody else's lesson. But at least if we're going to go through obstacles, challenges with other people, if they matter, at least you'll have impact when they learn a lesson. So then we have Neptune, and Neptune is associated with Pisces, so we could be dealing with the Pisces. Pluto also is associated with Scorpio, could be dealing with one of them's. But your Neptune is your fantasies, yearnings, longings, and potential for illusion. And that's not to say drinking problem, but it could be. But Neptune really, it does involve the imagination. So this person, at the very least, has a vision. And I guess people with a big imagination usually like to color it up with all these heavy drama potential situations. So, it feels very dreamy and lusty and lovey-dovey, like they're in love with love, or they want to just have romantic situations. Or maybe you're dealing with somebody who loves that first part of a relationship where people are afraid to ask questions, so they just try to generate as many new relationships as possible. And then, seems like a very elusive type person that they can maybe not even talk their way into anything, but just use those big gooey eyes and the way they smell and the way they look. They're probably using the allure to get what they want, but in that in the process being very inauthentic and very mum's the word, and avoidance, a lot of conversations of avoidance. So you'll know who you're dealing with on account of you don't know that much about them, even though you've spent a lot of time with them type person. So yeah, there it is. That is your reading. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, please give the video a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. Leave a comment, share the video, and if you'd like your own personal reading, please check out the description. There's a link to my website as well as a link to my Etsy shop. And yeah, thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.